Welcome, luminous souls, to another episode of Ask the Oracle, the space where intuition becomes language, wisdom becomes breath, and the unseen becomes just beautifully felt. I'm your host, Suzy Cherub, and today we step into a sacred circle with a gorgeous woman whose presence feels like earth medicine itself. Joining us is my dear soul sister and friend, Cazz Dumont, a medicine woman, guide of the medicine wheel, and a keeper of elemental wisdom. Cazz walks between worlds with grace, grounding ancient teachings into modern life and helping others remember their true essence, their power, and their place within the great web of creation. Together, we'll explore the medicine wheel, the elements, the art of manifesting with shamanic soul, and the deepest story of what guided Cazz onto her spiritual path. This is an episode to soften into, breathe, breathe with, and allow yourself to be changed by. Let's journey together, and we've got a beautiful surprise for you too. Beautiful Cazz is going to do a gorgeous 10-minute meditation for us as well a bit later on. So, Cazz, for anyone meeting you for the first time, my love, how do you describe the work you do as a medicine woman?
Um, I describe myself as a wounded healer. Um, through many wounds and many journeys that I have crafted in this lifetime, and to become whole, I've had to go through many hoops. And and I wish to share my gift with other people, and just by talking to them, sending healing and using all the gifts that I do have and all the new ones that will come in the learning.
Beautiful, I love that. What first drew you to the medicine wheel, and how has it shaped the way you live and kind of guide others?
Uh, when I was young, um, I had a lot of abuse in my life, and a preacher told me that as religion's not going to do it for you, the church is not going to do it, go into nature and find your way. So then I had to find something that supported what I felt. A lot of it I didn't know, but I was drawn to the Cherokees, all the Native American indigenous tribes, Hawaiian, all the different ones that connected to the earth and the elements and the directions. So I went on a learning journey with energy, healing, different things to actually find my balance in where I am today.
Oh, I love that answer. It's really interesting. As I started talking to you, Cazz, the beautiful white cockatoos started calling out from the background. I'm not sure if the listeners can hear that, but I love that so much. So, what was the first moment or the nudge that let you know you were being called onto a spiritual path? Like, what was that first kind of nudge, do you think?
I was pretty young, and I could see and hear things that weren't there.
Yeah.
So I was a bit different. I'd look at someone and I'd know things about them and go, well, can't you do that? Can't you see that about that person? And realize that my gift was kind of very profound. And sometimes it made me really weird. People didn't want to be friends with you because you knew their secrets, even without them telling you. So for me, it was where I felt at home. That the medicine wheel, medicine healing was where when I went and did a course with a medicine man, and he was very profound. I saw him in a show, and in my heart, I just said thank you to him. And he turned around to me and said, "Thank you for that." And I went, "What the hell did I do?" But I sent energy from my heart, and he felt it. And he picked it up in this big room. So I thought, I meant to work with you, and I did.
Oh, I love that so much. So did your awakening come as like one big moment of clarity, or did it sort of unfold gradually and slowly over time, do you think?
I think I would like to say it was gradual,
Yeah.
but there was times where, I was taken into a church and then the Holy Spirit came and spoke to me and touched and filled the Holy Spirit and um, changed my perception, told me when I read the Bible where it said fear, change it to love, and it would make sense, more
Yes.
sense because man had changed the wording of the Bible.
Yeah.
So when I could read the Bible and then in some context the words would change in front of my eyes and I was sitting there going, ooh, doo-doo-doo-doo. But they would just change and I could understand better of
Yeah.
where my journey was taking me.
I love that answer so much that as you were reading the Bible, the word fear changed alchemized into the word love, and the words were
Mm,
changing in front of your very eyes. That's so
mm,
beautiful. And having that deep inner knowing that, it wasn't meant to be fearful. Love that so, so much. Now, I
mm.
know you have this amazing connection to the earth, the
Yep.
elements, and your ancestors. So, how did the earth, our beautiful earth mother, the elements, or your ancestors first show up as teachers for you? Yeah?
Well, I went to visit my grandmother in England, and she, if I say this out loud, it's going to sound rude against my mum, but she understood me, and we talked about, gifts and things, and she had a lot of Celtic gifts, and she
Yes.
said you have to follow your ancestors, you have to follow the line of where your gift has come from. So then I went on a journey, looking at Avalon and the priestesses and all the Celts and the Druids and different things as well, so that I followed the lineage. And it still always took me back to Native American
Yes, of
and their
course. Yeah.
philosophy and how they did things, because the Native American was, back when I was looking, was more written about than the Celtic stuff when
The
I was
Celtic
researching.
druids and the Celtic
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
kind of, elemental magic or whatever you want to call it, like
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. I love that.
And I could always feel the fairies. I could go down a garden and I could sense them, see them. I've always believed in the leprechaun's got that pot of gold, but he won't just put it at my door yet, but we're waiting. So,
Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
books of learning, I'd go in and I go, okay, what am I going to read today? And they'd fall off the shelf in the bookshop. So then I'd come home with that and go, I don't know what I'm learning on this one, but we'll see what comes of it at the end. So yeah, very
That
been
ever
very
evolving
intuitive.
journey. Yeah, that
Yeah,
learning
been
journey.
very intuitive to follow. And I've always known, even though in the darkest times, that there's always more. And I think that's why when I fell down and scraped my knees, that I just dusted them off and think, okay, shivers, we got to step back up and keep going because there's more to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Beautiful. Love that so much. I just love that beautiful elemental earth medicine has been kind of in many, many cultures all around the world, Norse, Celtic, the beautiful Native American, even our own First Nations people. But you're quite right. There's been a lot of kind of records of that beautiful kind of Native American wonderful kind of earth medicine as well. So, yeah. And, we've got that ancestral memory, but quite often we have past lives as well. So, there's so many beautiful connections to different lineages and different ancestral kind of pathways. I loved that answer that you gave. Really beautiful. So, were there any key initiations or turning points that shaped you into the medicine woman you are today? I mean, you've touched on it already. I know that you had some childhood trauma. I'm so sorry that happened to you. And you've talked about some kind of aha moments that you've had. That did you want to talk about any kind of key initiations or turning points as well?
Um, I think some of the key things was when I did my kahuna massage and lomi lomi, um,
Yes, yeah,
that I could learn to touch a person because of sexual abuse. My ability to touch people from the heart was very distant, and my sense of love from an early age was you had sex with them because that's how they showed their love. And I had to overcome that. And by doing the massage and healing and the energy workshops that I've done, it taught me that it was okay to be different. Although
yes,
although one time I was massaging this man in a wheelchair for a profound 3 years, and then one day I said to him, I really, if I want to be with God, I go and sit under a tree or I go to the ocean. So the next time I went, I massaged him for 3 hours, and then he said, "You can't come anymore because you worship Pan." And I said, at that stage, I didn't have any clue who Pan was, and I said, I don't
yes,
understand. And because when I heal and people are negative, I burp, I fart. Sometimes if they're really ill, I vomit and I can run to the toilet. So it's not a pleasant thing. But this other person that he asked me to go and do a healing said I had a demonic presence.
oh
So
dearie me,
for 3 years I didn't touch anybody. I didn't do any
oh,
healing. And
that's fear-based, isn't it? We talked about
yeah,
fear as
yeah,
opposed to love, yeah, like
yeah,
instilling the fear, yeah,
yeah.
oh, yeah,
But it happened on more occasions than that. You know, mum goes to church, so the church people had deemed me, because I don't go to church, that I was taboo and people shouldn't come to me. And I said, well, how come you can go in to the church and do a healing circle, but if I put my hands on someone, I'm classed as a bad person. So I had to come with that realization that I did channel. I channeled Jesus, I channeled the Holy Spirit. And if you don't like it, bad luck. That's where I've come to.
yeah.
But it stopped me working with people for many years because of the hurt. And even though I knew the hurt was coming, as you would know, that you can't change it, but it gives you this awakening to say, hey, is this me or is this the label they're putting on me? And your course last year for 9 months, you know, had really brought me out of my shell, and meeting you when you released your water temple was a very big
That
thing
was a
because it,
profound moment that we had, wasn't it?
yeah, and it was a very big thing for you to allow me to go and help someone else release their shame without feeling button in on someone else's energy or space, but you just allowed me to help that person and that I could remove the shame from my body at the same time as I helped them. So it was very profound. Uh, You know, if people said what was the one of the big things, and I would say meeting you, and that was one of the changes that
Oh,
for me.
that I just, right back at your sister. I feel the same way about you. It's a very reciprocal respect, and you've done the most incredibly amazing sessions within our group. And, for me, when you do it, and I see you in your light, in your sacred power, doing what you're guided to do, being that beautiful kind of conduit for spirit, it's really an honor and a blessing to witness that as well. And I really appreciate you saying that. Now, I know you've had probably other mentors and those beautiful unseen allies who supported you in those early stages as well. You mentioned that you did a course with a medicine man as well, didn't you, back in the day? Or yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But it was
and,
whatever I was drawn to. And
yes,
the other thing was whether it was affordable, because you know I was a single well, before my son came along, you know, I was just, you know, oh, is that in the budget? Yes. Okay, we'll do it. Is that affordable? Okay, we can do it. Can I get there with this? Make it happen? Yes. So yeah. So it was very, very profound, and different people led me on different paths, but my energy was always strong, which I didn't understand. So when
You've
I
got
went
that beautiful
into
shamanic energy, that big energy. I love that about you,
so
but it's
when
very
I
real. Yeah.
Yeah, when I went into groups, I
Yeah.
was accused of bringing the demons in and all sorts. But
Deary
I learnt,
me.
I learnt
Yeah.
that it wasn't me. When I walked in, they were all bloody shattering. They're going, shit, someone's coming in. We're going. So
Yeah.
that's when other people could see them. But it took me a long time to realize it's not me.
It's not me. It's
I'm
them.
just the clearer of this, and
Yes.
they can't stay when I walk in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're kind of surrounded by, supportive, loving, gorgeous community, and it's just so, yeah, like, and yeah, I love that you kind of like intuitively have gone along your journey with books flying off the shelf, with, following different courses and different, mentors, and even our beautiful unseen spirit guides and allies as well. Really, really beautiful. So, when did you know this wasn't just your personal journey, that it was a calling to kind of serve others? This beautiful, it sounds corny, but it's true, like a higher calling, yeah. So when did you sort of realize that that's something that you wanted to do as well? I know you did it very early on, and you're coming back into it now, which is so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure when I knew that I was to give it to everybody. But I found that once I had done massage and I could bring the energy in and just massage people and they could heal on a mind, body, spirit level without me having to go, oh, we're just going to fix your broken soul. We're going to do this. It was just done in the massage. And that was a way for me to be comfortable with what I could do, where
Love
now
that.
I don't have to massage people. I can just look at someone and say, oh, they got a sore leg, send healing to the leg.
Yeah.
And one of the things I do demand of spirit is when I work on someone, that person gets a miracle. Or your stuff, mate, because I'm not doing any more healing unless you give that person a miracle. So, yeah. I was working on
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
the other day and I was doing a massage and we're clearing all the muddy waters and um then I said, how does that feel? It's really clear now. And she said, well, I'm never going to be better. And I said, well, why am I doing all this work then? I said, if you do not believe that this miracle is sitting here waiting for you, then how do you know that you're going to move forward?
Yes.
And this person has got a lot of training. And I thought, oh, you just stood up and voiced an opinion, but it came from something deep down inside. And then afterwards, she said, oh, I feel so much better. And I said, yeah, Spirit asked you to let go of all that.
Yeah.
So,
That was the
yeah,
release. That was a,
yeah,
sometimes you need to be honest about that unconscious limiting belief that's buried deep, and allow it to come to the surface so that you can transmute it, so that you can transform it,
mm,
Yeah, yeah, that's so great. Lomi Lomi and Kahuna, ancient Hawaiian massage, is not just a massage, it's the most amazing energetic healing.
yeah,
So I kind of love too that you went along that pathway and had found that real connection to that beautiful ancient Hawaiian kind of lineage as well, Cazz, yeah?
yeah. And I'm waiting for my trip to see Pelly at the mountains. So that'll be
Beautiful
happening
goddess
soon.
Pele,
Yeah,
goddess of the,
I
volcano.
know. The fire.
Um, Beautiful.
Yeah,
Love that.
yeah,
I want to talk a little bit about the medicine wheel wisdom, because you've
yep,
shared this, and it's just I love the way you explain it. So, can you walk us through the medicine wheel and what each direction represents in our personal evolution?
yeah. The medicine wheel to me is our medicine wheel of life. Like when you look at the circle, it's never ending. It
Yeah.
goes around. Um, People like to look at it sometimes it's like the butterfly, you go, you die, you go in and then you you've manifested a new life and it comes out of the cocoon, and then your freedom, and then you die again. So the medicine wheel is in all aspects of our life, is that when we come on the medicine wheel, and it depends where you are in your life, and you may land in the east. Um, but if you're using the medicine wheel, you actually get to go around the whole medicine wheel in cycles. I can't tell you how many years it takes, but for me, it's one day I could be in the east, the next day I'm in the west, because I'm looking at myself and going, okay, that needs to change. The lesson here. So the east direction is um, where the sun rises. It's also about the air you breathe. So as you breathe in, that's bringing in the east. And the totem animal for this is eagle, and the spirit of spring. So there's a lot more things that can be added to this. It's also about wisdom and regaining your wisdom. The south is connected to water. The color is red. And to me, when I'm looking at the south, I always see the wolf, which is the teacher. And it's connected to summer and your youth as well. And this is also, if you have trust issues like me, um, is in this south area of the medicine wheel.
Oh,
And it's
interesting.
also and it's also about aligning yourself with water so that you flow and you're not stagnant in a stagnant pond. You let the water flow. The west is the element of earth, and you might have heard this, that in winter we go into the cave. We become the bear and we go in to the cave. So it depends on which hemisphere you're in. Some in the northern hemisphere, it's classed as autumn, but in Australia, I class it as winter.
Beautiful.
It's also about our adulthood and our maturity. Um, and it's also when we go in that cave and we go inside, we're looking at the introspect and grounding and the connection to the natural world. It's like when the bear comes out in spring, they've had their big sleep and they're ready to take on the world. In the north, um, this is connected to white, and in some cultures it's the moose, but I always see it as the buffalo. So, it's about
Beautiful.
prayers and abundance,
Hmm.
and it's connected to the element of fire. And it's
Right.
also about elderwood and wisdom. And it's about transformation in the north, and it's in some cultures, it's sitting in your prayers and just actually sitting silent in your prayers and in the north. So then we have our center of the medicine wheel, is where I will take you a little bit later. And in the center of the medicine wheels represents the sacred connection between earth and sky. Um, you could say yin and yang, as above, so below.
Yeah.
But it's also about balance, and it's also about self-reflection and the fire that's within. And I see it also is when you're standing in the center of the medicine wheel, all the connections of north, south, east, and west coming to join you, and you're joining with, and if the words upset you, change them to the Creator, Wankan Tunkan, the Great Void, Great Wisdom, Great Spirit, or Sacred Heart. And I've also, since meeting you, have added the Great Mother, because
Oh, beautiful.
I've learnt to realize that we have to honor that sacred mother within ourselves as well. And the
Oh,
priestess, that
beautiful. I love
all
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that so
Mm.
much. What a great description. I love the way you explained it. You know, when you're explaining it, Cazz, it's really interesting because my element is water, like I'm a water sign. Everything's about flow and water, intuition, emotional intelligence, you name it. I'm very, very comfortable with the element of water. And the really interesting thing is I've always lived in the south, south of Canberra, south coast. Um, my ancestors are from southern England and southern Portugal. My husband Tony he's from, south he's from, down south in Calabria, down in Italy. It's really very interesting that I guess my question to you is, do you think there is um, you know, are we more, is that a thing? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know what I'm asking you here, but what do you think of
Well, I
that?
can I can see what you're asking. Like
Yeah.
when when you've said that, it's like I've lived in the south of England. I when we came over to Australia, I we live on the south coast. I went west for a while to find myself driving coaches and trucks. Um, but in saying that, it's like where are my roots? And they're on the coast. If I can be near water and I can
Yes.
be near the mountains, my surname
Yes.
means in French men of the mountains. So I can go away from the water as long as there's a pool. I cannot be anywhere there's no water. But I
Yes.
can have a dam, I can have a pool,
A
I
river, a
can have a
lake.
stream,
Yeah.
but I cannot be away from water. So that, I'm technically a
It's like
mermaid.
home for us, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
south, the
yeah,
mountains, the water.
mm,
Even in Canberra, I love the
mm,
lakes.
yeah.
Um,
But it's
yeah,
also the
yeah,
teacher,
yeah.
in the South, you've got the wolf, and the wolf is about teaching, and that's what you are. You're the teacher.
Oh, as are you. Yeah.
You bring out the best in everyone. So,
Oh, thank you, my love.
um,
Yeah.
and that's what most of us are striving to be,
Yes.
bringing out the best in
The
ourselves
best
so
in
we can
people.
give that to other people.
Yeah. For someone very new to this work, Kaz, what's a simple way they can start connecting with the wheel, do you reckon?
Well, I just do a 5 minute, I do a 5 minute meditation, a grounding exercise in the morning, for myself. But as long as your intention is right, you can just
Yeah.
say, I am one with the elements fire, air, water, earth. And I said it different than I normally do it in my morning. But I have a little ritual that I say my I ams, and I'm connected to the seasons, to the wind, to the four directions, to the four elements, to the four animals. Well, five animals because I've put the brumbies in because my heart was crying for the brumbies in the Kosciuszko National Park.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
have to send healing to them every day.
Yeah.
Um,
Love that.
and I send it to the four kingdoms as well, like mineral, plant, animal, and human. So I
Yeah.
do this meditation. Well, I say meditation, it's in the shower in the morning, it's done in 5 minutes, and I'm grounded, I'm connected, my body is clear, and I'm ready to take on whatever I have to take on that day. So, and I'm pretty much don't miss a day either. So once you get in the shower, I do it. And if I can't have a shower, then I just do it out wherever I am. So,
I love that. I love that it
mm,
only takes 5, 10 minutes. It's like brushing your teeth, but
mm,
it's quite a deep I am, beautiful
mm,
centering, beautiful connecting to,
mm,
yeah, all the elements. So beautiful. So, what
mm,
does it mean to walk the wheel with intention in everyday life? I think you've sort of explained that when you talked about
mm.
going around the wheel, but I've heard other people say walk the wheel with intention in everyday life. I think you've kind of touched on that, but would you like to elaborate or?
Um, yeah, um, I would like to, but I would like to like I feel that I've been given a channeled meditation for everybody to just try. It's not very long, but a lot of
Yes.
people say to me, "Oh, I don't have time." I said, "Do you have time to breathe?" Yes. I said, "Well, you have time to do this." And I said, "And if the only thing
Love
that
that.
you can, if the only thing you can do in a day for yourself is you breathe in 4 times, hold for four, and out, and you do it 3 times. But when you're in the car and you're frustrated and you go, hang on, I'm going to breathe. You're connecting to spirit. You're connecting to your inner wisdom and you're connecting to your own wheel. So it's like we just take that few minutes and we can do that. And even if your mind is, I'm just going to breathe today, don't believe any of this crap. Um, you know, I
Even
can
that has to be
say,
better. Yeah.
yeah, but I can say that out loud because someone told me when I was trying to release the trauma of the child abuse, um, they said, just send love to the person. I said, you've got to be joking. How do you send love to someone that's took your innocence? And I said, all right. And I'd sit there and I to this day I imagine anyone that needs healing has this water tank above their head. And I'll go, back then I'd go, Spirit, God, whoever you are, send them healing. Even though I don't want to do it, I'm doing it. And over the space of a year, I could send energy to this man that abused me and the other people
Wow.
that caused me
The power of
horrific damage.
forgiveness and
And
release
I
and
just
surrender.
imagine the water tank
Yeah.
above them, and then the fairy dust floats down over them when God says, it's okay, they need it, then send it. And the man that abused me was in the shopping centre one day, and I looked him straight in the eye and I thought, you can't hurt me anymore.
Yeah.
And he took one look at me and ran, absolutely ran out of the shopping centre. And I went, I'm healed. So, it's that intention of, when we're learning, it's like, don't think this is going to do any good, but it's persistence, it's dedication, and it's about you. It's not about them. It's really
Yes.
about you. And
Yeah.
it's how you want to heal. I didn't want to carry all that grief and
You didn't want to
suffering.
drink from that poisonous
Mm,
chalice of hate
mm,
and I totally understand it's a process and it's not an easy one by any means, but the power of like surrender, forgiveness, if you can do it, and it does take, it does take courage and it takes time. But yeah, it's really basically just so you're not still drinking from that poisonous chalice of
mm.
resentment. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's following your directions. It's like, when you see something, you go, okay, I'm going to do that. And I'm sorry, I do it with you all the time. I just go, oh, Susie's doing something, sign me up. And I don't even read the blurb of um, what we're saying, what we're going to do. And I get there and someone will say, have you got your scarf to put on your head as a priestess today? And I go, oh, no, I didn't read it. I just here. I'm just turning up. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
you can energetically do that anyway. Yeah.
yeah.
It's beautiful. So, my love, I know that you've got a really potent, short, beautiful kind of visualization and meditation for us today. Would you like to do that now for us?
Yes, I would. And in the words of Priestess Lily, I'll probably go rogue on this.
Priestess Lily's a friend of ours. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yes. So, okay, we're going to talk about the breath now, and I just will get you to follow. You don't have to visualize, you don't have to do anything. You just need to breathe. So we'll breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Out 2, 3, 4. And just feel it pushing out. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So throughout, as we go down our path, I want you to keep breathing. Okay, just relax into this. Just imagine that you're on the edge of the ocean and you're facing the ocean mother, and you open your arms and you surrender everything to the ocean. And as we turn to walk, we can see a forest in the distance. It's not a far walk, but there's very tall trees. And we walk down this path, and we're really enjoying the path. You're seeing the trees, listening to the bird song, connecting to the animals, the plants, the earth and sky, and the air we're breathing. And then we come to a clearing in the paddock. The trees have made a perfect circle. And as we are entering from the east, we can see the circle, and there's a stone, and you bow to the stone, and we step into the circle, asking permission for whatever we need to release today, that the medicine wheel will heal us. And as we walk, entering the east, we walk to the north, and we connect with the north. All the elements of the north and the animals. And then we walk around in a clockwise direction. We go to the west and connecting to the elements and the west. And then we walk to the south. And we stand there, and at the south, when we're in our emotions, and the wolf is sitting beside you. And he and she, there's one on either side, you'll balance, and you walk to the center. And you may find that you want to sit down on the earth. You may find you want to stand with your arms open, your legs in the star position. It's up to you. Just feel comfortable. And the intention here is that we just put our hands on our heart and we connect. We call our ancestors. We call the ancestors of the east, north, south, and west. We call the animals of all directions. And you feel yourself being surrounded. The grandmothers, the grandfathers, your ancient ones, your ancestors, the earth's ancestors are all here. And they are here for you. And you may have an issue. You may have something you want to answer to. Could be as simple as, where's my earplug charger? You know, it doesn't have to be major, but it might be something that's bugging you. So you surrender. You see this surrender, and you allow it to go into the earth through your feet. And you surrender, and you bring the mother's energy back into your body. You feel the father's energy coming down through the top of your head and into the mother, and you become balanced. And you can feel the balance. And then you put your hands on your belly button and just feel how grounded you are. And you breathe in and you breathe out. You say, Great Spirit, Great Mother, I surrender all that I am, all that I was, and all that I can be here in this moment in the medicine wheel. Breathing in. And then we bring our hands up to our heart and we connect to this wonderful, wonderful energy of nature, of all the elements, all the winds, everything, and we bring it in. And we bow to the north, we bow to the west, we bow to the south, we bow to the east. And we give from our heart a gift, and we place it in the center of the circle. And we know that by giving this gift that we are permitted to come back at any time. You don't need me to bring you back. This is your personal medicine wheel. And then we look towards the east and we walk out to the edge of the circle. We turn, we bow, and we say, thank you. Thank you, Spirit. And then we step out of the circle and we turn towards the path.
Beautiful, Cazz.
And we just walk down the pathway and we just see those glimmers in the trees, the diamonds on the ocean that weren't there before. That's who we are. We are connected to Spirit, to the medicine wheel, and all that we are.
So beautiful, my love. Thank you so, so much. Loved that.
I hope that
So,
people can understand that it doesn't have to be major. It doesn't have to be, it can be major, but it doesn't have to be. It can be just quick like that and you're done.
your voice is so soothing, and it felt like a beautiful kind of like beautiful meditation, but at the same time, it felt like quite profound. Um, so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I loved that. I just want to ask you a quick question before we kind of finish up today. You talk about manifestation as an energetic partnership. What does
Yes.
that look like in practice? How does shamanic work help us call in what's aligned rather than trying to force outcomes? What role does surrender play in manifesting from a place of soul, my love? Yeah?
Well, manifestation is like people think you have to keep working, working, working really hard to manifest. And as long as you have the right intention, this is what I've learned. It's like we go out and we put a seed in the ground and we work with that seed and we watch it grow and come out. But as humans, if it doesn't happen today, we go back out and we pull the seed out and chuck it out. That's not working. That's stuffed. I'm not going
Yeah.
to do that. But when we learn to manifest from the heart, it's very, very strong when we say, I am abundance. I am full of vitality and good health. Um, so there's many I am statements out there. There's many I am things that you can listen to on YouTube. I do in the car if I'm driving somewhere. I put my favorite people on and I listen. I listen to you. I listen to Brian Scott. Sometimes I listen to Native American music, but I have been known to go off the planet with that, so I don't do it while I'm driving. However, one of the big things that I've found recently is that to not say, I can't afford it. So I say to myself, it's not in my budget right now, and I will wait till my abundance comes in. And I can tell you, I had 8 weeks of no work and we got through. I just went, okay, I've got a bill. Spirit, I command you send the money for this. I don't ask please. I don't say thank you. I say thank you when it comes in and then I go, I bless this money. I bless everything going out. I bless it before it comes in. This morning I was looking for my iPod charger. I can't find it. Pulling out cupboards, I found $1 under the cupboard. So my abundance has improved by $1. But people might say that's not much, but now I've got $5 for a coffee tomorrow. So that's a lot for some people. So it's it's about getting rid of your crap and really looking at what messages are yours and what is your past? Mine was money
Yes,
doesn't grow on
powerful.
trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. You're
All those
undeserving. You
negative
don't.
mantras, Cazz, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. And just let go of them and just go, okay, it's not in my budget right now. But, you know, one
Great
thing,
advice, Cazz,
yeah,
yeah.
one thing, I wanted to come to Bali and I didn't have the deposit, so I was like, okay, I surrender, I can't go. Someone put 500 in my account so I could pay the deposit. And then the bank finally came through with the rest of the money like 10 weeks later, and the position would have been filled. But I'm going. So, it's like being clear. I still haven't won the big lotto yet, but I found a farm that I want, and I know that it will come. But it's also trusting that, trust in yourself. And if it's not coming, what lesson is that for you? You
Yeah,
know,
good
is
point.
is that farm in the right spot? No, but this one might be, so the money may come. So,
Yes,
and it will come at the divine time, not my time,
yes,
because it would be here and I'd be moved in already. But,
yes. It'd be
you
overwhelming
know,
if we got everything we
mm,
ever wanted in one moment. It's a
yeah,
progressive journey, it's a learning journey. You're
yeah.
quite right.
But
But
it's also
having that trust, yeah,
yeah, and it's also like when you meet people, it's like, I'm going to work with that person. I'm going to do stuff with that. And it's like, don't wait for life to happen. You only get this moment in this time. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. We're not guaranteed 6 months. We're only guaranteed today. And it's like, I drive a bus for a living. I could go out and some idiot hits you and your time's up. But it's about living in this moment and
yes,
spending that moment to being the best you can be in that moment and let go of all regrets. You can't, regret is the heaviest burden that we place on ourselves. And, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. But it's about what can we do right now? What is
yeah.
in this moment and stay in the now, because my anxiety used to cripple me because I'd worry about tomorrow, tomorrow,
Worry about the
tomorrow.
past, worry about the
And
future. There's
and
no
I
stress
said,
in the present moment quite often. Yeah,
and I couldn't change what I said to people,
yeah,
but I could change what I do right now. And it's like, breathe, hang on. This person's annoying me. What's the lesson in this for me? Not what they're
yes,
doing, but what is my lesson? And
yes,
it's like, okay, this is my lesson. And
yes,
I'm being super vigilant. I'm listening to spirit. Just recently, spirit said to me, I was going all the way to Griffith to buy a German Shepherd puppy, and I got somewhere and I stopped and I drove out and I said, I'm going the wrong way. So I turned around and went back and ended up where I was. And spirit saying, you're going the wrong way. I said, no, I'm going to get my puppy. And it was a scam. I'd driven 14 I had turned around and came home,
yeah.
and it was a scam. And
Oh, I'm
spirit was
sorry that
showing me
happened to
that, but
you.
I
That,
wasn't
yeah.
I wasn't listening
Spirit
because
was trying to
that
tell
German,
you you're going the
yeah,
wrong
but
way,
that
as
was
in you
my
are really
German
going the
Shepherd
wrong way.
puppy that I was going to get my German Shepherd
Yeah.
puppy. And for people that don't know, my 10-year-old died last year, and
Oh,
he
yeah.
left a big hole in my heart,
Yeah.
and I wanted another one. But 2 weeks later, my son bought us two kittens. They are so beautiful, but I'm going to say it publicly, they're not a German Shepherd.
Oh, I love that so, so much. Oh,
Hmm.
it's been just so wonderful having you on today. It's an honor to walk beside you. Your wisdom is so down to earth, as in earth medicine. Loved it. I'd love to pull a card for you and the collective, my dear friend Cazz, from the
Hmm.
Moon Temple Oracle deck.
My favorite.
Um, and it's number 19, the rhythm card, and it's all the moon phases, which felt really appropriate for our session today because, the medicine wheel is very cyclic. You talked about that beautiful cycle of rebirth, and, you know, everything has that beginning, that middle, and that ending, but an ending isn't really an ending. It's often a beautiful new beginning because everything's perpetual and everything's a cycle. And the words, there's lots of words. I won't read all of them, but my moon danced twirls and whirls in divine timing. Flow, synchronize, pulsate. So it's about keeping it simple. Do not overthink it. Gracefully soar with spirit. Do not force the winds of change. Reflect on the ways in which you are pushing up against the inevitable. Relinquish the need to force things to happen. Allow everything to unfurl in nature's timing. Walk softly on the earth. Adapt to your environment and bend like the trees in the wind to find your sweet spot. So there's a lot more, but that's pretty much it. And, you know, the art by Lila Savalaney is really beautiful. And there it is. So I thought that was kind of appropriate for today. Did you like that one?
Yes, and I'll read the rest after.
Beautiful. Love that. So, thank you for joining us on this beautiful sacred journey today. Caz, your wisdom is a blessing, a reminder that the earth is always speaking, the elements are always guiding, and our magic is always waiting to be remembered. To our listeners, may this conversation inspire you to walk gently, listen deeply, and honour the cycles that shape your becoming. Share your unique words, images, insights, and creativity with us. Your expression enriches the collective field. Until next time, trust your intuition, honour your true essence, and keep asking the oracle within. Thank you so much, Caz. I love and adore you,
Oh,
my love.
thank you. Love and adore
Thank
you
you.
too. Bye.
Bye.